So I'm Jonathan Nowak, co-founder and managing director of HolodeckVR. So we are building and enabling Star Trek's fantasy to become reality. So imagine you can walk around in virtual worlds, explore very intuitively places you haven't actually explored, travel in time and space. So imagine you can walk in a Lego land and become a Lego figure yourself, create the Lego world you want to be in. Imagine you can play in an esport environment, but not behind a 2D screen, but actually you can move around in the gameplay. So you're in the game, you're not playing a game. And imagine you can travel in time and actually explore in education, for example, historic sceneries in the Colosseum of Rome and get immersed in the Colosseum, walk around in big areas, stadium size, up to 100 people. So that's what HolodeckVR is all working all about, so enabling this social experience. So this is the Holodeck L size, large, so 20 by 20 meters. 20 users can interact in real time, and in this case it's a haunted house, a Halloween experience. This gentleman over here, he's the CEO of VR Coaster. They came up with the content. It's rendered on a smartphone, and this gentleman is the Chief Creative Officer of Universal Studio in Osaka in Japan. He flew all the way to Germany. That's the Fraunhofer IAS lab, the MP3 creators, and it's a spin-off. And these gentlemen are a group of 4 or 5 people. They walk behind each other. They could also walk next to each other. They see each other as avatars in real time. Akira is just touching a physical object. There's a virtual representation in real time, and this is sold to theme parks. So theme parks are after entertained users per hour per square meters. So right now you see what Akira is seeing. So he's walking in a kind of twisted world. So we wanted to come up with experiences you can't experience in reality. So it's worth going in VR. And that's why he's walking quite slowly, a bit awkwardly, explorative, as obviously that's a situation a human being is not exposed to quite often. Right now he's walking in a kind of bended world environment. So that's why he's also walking a bit slowly. That's his second time he's doing the horror maze. So he's already experienced. So that's one setup. So now let's go to another setup, which is more for a repeat value environment, where you want the users to come back on a weekly or monthly time. So this is virtual sports, so very easy. You move around left and right, you move the pedal in front of you. Pong, a tribute to Pong. And it's a proof of concept game which proves that if you add a little scoring feature, people want to compete to one another, they compare each other, and that goes towards the esports application. Here you're not playing Pac-Man, you are Pac-Man, so you need to physically move around in order to collect the gold nuggets, and you've been chased by the antivirus system. So HolodeckVR is really about, so what we provide initially just the hardware tracking technology. So we have a sensor fusion where we combine optical, camera-based tracking and radio frequency-based tracking. And we can use that for VR, AR or XR. And there's a big market emerging. So consumer markets for VR are not there because nobody wants to own. And our hypothesis is you rather go to a location like a cinema type and pay $10 for 10 minutes VR experience with your friends, not geeky, not isolated, but in a social context. So we have quite some advantages compared to the others when it comes to the tracking technology. So that's the USP we start with. We teamed up with VR Coaster. VR Coaster is a daughter company from McRides, the leading roller coaster industry, and we have an advantage on the theme park distribution side. So we are the ones which cover very large areas and a lot of users. And we have a piece of hardware which we put on the headset. We're headset agnostic, so we can work with backpacks or with mobile phones. And we have an operator interface. So you want to have this holodeck operated by 1 or 2 people in order to run economically. So that's also our key USP. So we use far less footprint and cameras, which are expensive, to cover that large areas. We need by far less operators than IMAX VR, for example. They have single user pods, and we generate by far more user throughput, which is essentially what drives revenue because you charge people for going through this experience. So we are already post-revenue, so we have a run rate of 1 million. Trade shows there after this for virtual showrooms. You have a lot of people, a lot of space and changing content. Shopping malls with e-commerce on the rise, you need to come up with a reason why you have to go to the shopping mall again, and theme parks. So we're teaming up with the best content providers globally, with Hollywood studios and with VR content studios, and we're trying to bring the Star Trek original IP to the HolodeckVR. So there's some competition out there, however, we position ourselves with the superior tech, with the easiest setup. So it's within 2 hours it's set up, so there's also the possibility for a pop-up holodeck, and with the best content. So the business model is straightforward. So there's a turnkey solution for a theme park for 250K upwards, and for the shopping malls it's a revenue share, 60% for the operator, 30% for us, and 10% for the content developer. So we have a lead investor, and we're currently filling up our round. We have Electronic Arts co-founder Jeff Burton as our co-founder, full-time co-founder. He was before with Atari. We have the 2 inventors of the technology. They are on the patents from Fraunhofer IAS, and we have a stellar team of advisors from NVIDIA or Baobab. So basically what drives long-term value is a land grab situation for content, for location, and right now we head start with an advantage in technology and distribution for the theme park industry. Thanks.